Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope you are doing really well. Today I'm making this video to announce something really exciting and personal to me. And also, I invite you to join me in this journey. That exciting thing that I'm going to announce is my new startup called GutSphere. And I am going to build a GI platform for self care and clinical navigation. And most people ask, why GI? Why gastrointestinal health? I could do many more things, but why GI? In order to understand that, you need to understand a bit about me, a bit of context. The context is number one, my personal history to GI issues. Number two, why I'm uniquely qualified this. And more importantly, I did not want to do this startup. After I wrote a book called Living Constipation Free in 2021, I thought about doing something in gastrointestinal space, mostly towards patients, helping them recover, helping them prevent, and live a high performing life. Because I have lived through that and I have done thousands, I've self experimented, I've researched, and I spent thousands of hours doing that. But I procrastinated. The reason why I procrastinated are are primarily because I know how hard it is to do a startup. I have done three times before. It's extremely painful, sometimes extremely lonely, and excruciatingly hard. And so I procrastinated. Hence, when I exited from my previous company, May of last year, I wrote a post saying, "This is not the end. This is the best thing it has ever happened to me. It's going to propel me to do thing that I always wanted to do." But still, I procrastinated. And it took me several months, and I took a detour of looking for a job. And as all know, my friends would know that I look for a job in the intersection of three things: one, healthcare, AI, and startups. Everything that I have been doing for the last more than a decade and a half. But as I look for a job, obviously the market conditions were not great. And I'm thankful to that I didn't get a job. Otherwise, I would have done this. And and because of the market condition, or because of my passion, or because of my timing, I call it fate. And fate has found me and given me this opportunity to work on something which is deeply meaningful to my life. And I call it that GI is my ikigai. And I feel like I'm born to do this. Hence, I no longer could procrastinate. And knowing that is going to be extremely hard, the probability of success is extremely low. The challenges are going to be like climbing mountains and mountains. I decided to jump all in on my startup, GutSphere. And it's going to be a long and journey. Hence, I know that I cannot do this alone. And going forward, I will be building team. I will be building team of advisors. I'll need my friends, networks, and everybody to make this and even give a slight chance of success. And I know that startup is mostly about surviving long enough. Is I refuse to give up. And that I refuse to give up on this idea because it's just too important. And the reason why it's too important is this. I have personal history of GI issues all my life. And it started early on in my life. I was just 9 months old when I was hospitalized in the government hospital in Nepal. And my mom tells the following story, always tears rolling down her eyes. I was declared dead in hospital. One day, my mom was gone to procure a saline water for me. And when she returned, she found her second born child covered in a white sheet of clothes. And she was confused and looked around the neighboring caregiver. And neighboring caregiver told her that doctors came in around, they couldn't find a pulse, hence they declared him dead. But my mom is furious, determined. She was not ready to give up. The child who was sleeping when she left cannot be dead. And for whatever reason, she had the cognizance to put her ear close to my heart, and maybe the heartbeat, the only the mother can hear it. She heard it. And then she roared like a bear, went to the doctors, brought them back, and doctors did everything they could. And my mom tells me this: I gave faint cry only after one of the doctors folded my leg and smacked my little knee with a small hammer. And then I cried. After that, I was revived. Thank God for my mother that I survived. Yet, I grew up with weak digestive system. Everybody would make fun of me. My brother, my uncles would make fun of me that my bowel movement can come every time, anytime, everywhere you go. So, so it's quite funny actually. Like I remember once going for a movie but have to return because I had a bowel movement. It could come anytime. If I eat a little bit spicy, especially when I was young, a little bit spicy or a little bit something outside from the vendor, I wouldn't be able to digest that, and I would have to run to bowel movement, run to the toilet and find a bathroom. And in back of the mind, everywhere I went, I would always look for where the bathroom is, like scanning because I know I would need that. But fortunately, after teenage years, that went away. I went to India to study, and there wasn't a bit of problem. And maybe because then I was exercising, my form of exercise was mostly walking. I was sleeping well, and eating well as well. But that changed, and diarrhea transformed into constipation when I moved to the United States in 2016, and that impacted my quality of life. And in order to get relief from that, I went to the US healthcare system. I came out deeply disappointed. It's expensive, it's not patient centric, and more importantly, it's just fear mongering. I was really, really disappointed with the US healthcare system. I thought it's the best in the world. From where I come from a developing nation. And in the developed nations and the most prosperous nation in the world, the healthcare system could be this disappointing. I was utterly confused. Then I told to myself, and obviously, it was my mother who told me this: as a patient, you should know more about a disease than a doctor. And that led me to indeed know more about my disease. I went about learning what's causing it. And then I went about, okay, let me experiment with many things that I could. And after multiple years, my constipation went away. And I started living very happy life or a high quality of life. But I know this. I cannot stop doing what I'm doing right now. Eating well, exercising, sleeping, meditation, and so on. Because my body is susceptible to constipation, that I know that my body is susceptible to digestive disorders. My body is susceptible to gastrointestinal issues. So if I stop doing what I'm doing, then those will return. Hence, I need to keep on going lifelong, and this is my personal mission: to live not only constipation free life but high performing life, because I want to be a creator, I want to be an entrepreneur, and I want to be useful. The, the happiness that gives me when I'm useful to others and at the services of others is immense. So I refuse to live with disease. Hence, I went on a journey of self experimentation research, and then I came out strong. So it was around 2021 I reached this stage. And I thought maybe I should do a startup around GI care because I know that the US healthcare system or any chronic disease, which I believe is that it's 99% self care and 1% clinical care. How often do I meet my doctor? Every once in a while, and still it's not accessible to everyone. And when I meet a doctor, the doctors are always busy. Now I empathize with them that there's structural stupidity that makes them really busy. In the US, there is 8 minutes that I can spend on an average with a doctor, and even that 8 minutes, most of the time, doctors are busy doing the administrative stuff and taking notes and so on. The real conversation. And in the case of chronic disease, everybody is different. Everybody has different causes, and even in causes the severities are different. It requires very personalized approach. And I thought, okay, I could get personalized approach from my doctor, but it could be unbearably expensive. Hence, it's upon on me to know what personal thing works for me because I live with my body 24/7. So that's the personalized care that I need that I only I could get. And for that, I need education. And the education is my personal responsibility. And if you even go to any medical care, they'll make you sign many things and tell you, okay, these are your personal responsibilities. And in chronic care is more so. In chronic disease, there isn't a pill that will resolve any chronic conditions. It has to be through holistic care. And that's what I learned and experienced. There is nothing intellectual about this. It's a very experiential that I went through the process. And I believe every patient, every person who has chronic condition, especially GI issues, can take charge of their own health. And obviously, one would need clinical care for tests, for diagnostics, for treatment plans, and so on. But at the same time, asking the right question to your clinicians, asking for the right diagnosis, treatment plan, again, adherence to clinical care, adherence to treatment plans, all the responsibilities of the patient. Hence, I said, like in GI care, it's 99% self care and 1% clinical care. In 2021, I thought about building a platform, but I procrastinated. I asked myself what has changed in the market in terms of demand and supply. When I talk about demand, obviously there are a lot of demand in terms of more people are suffering from GI issues. Like there are millions and millions of people who have GI issues from constipation to IBS to IBD and so on, and it's already rising. And the causes are different for different people, but mostly it's lifestyle these lifestyle issues. There are very few with autoimmune conditions and genetic conditions, but I could say more than 90% people will have these lifestyle issues. That's the demand is rising. But the supply side about the clinical care is dwindling. The reason why the scarcity of nurses, the scarcity of clinicians, and so on. Therefore, in the traditional care in which you go to treatment and get the medical care only to clinicians, I think one is going to be it's going to be very scarce and expensive. So there must be something done. So from a supply side, and obviously there are like virtual cares, telehealth services, and so on. But I feel like supply side, especially which is aligned with the patient's care in terms of not only the care but also from the expenses side of it, affordability side of it, and accessibility side of it, it's lagging. But in order to build that platform, it got to be a holistic platform from symptoms, understanding symptoms to self-care to understanding treatment plans on taking records and education in a certain style so that it is more com- patients can comprehend more easily. So that required building not only a product but portfolio of product that would lead to a platform. But 2021, with someone who has limited resources, when I look at the feasibility of it, I didn't find it feasible, and I didn't find it that okay, there is enough value that I could provide in a holistic way. Hence, I procrastinated. And another reason I procrastinated was it's really tough to do a startup. It's excruciatingly painful, and I've done three times over. And then I just don't want to get into another startup. Let me procrastinate as long as possible, or maybe never do it. Never do it. So in 2023, something changed. I got exited from my previous company, which I helped to uh, build, and I was actually presently surprised and also happy when that happened. And I told myself, and I wrote in a LinkedIn post as well, and this is a story that I want to write. This is the best thing that has ever happened to me. I want in 10 years when I look back, I want my story to be that. And what can I do? So after that, I took a short break, and then I went for searching the first job in a startup because I'm a startup guy. So I went and I in want to do a startup in healthcare and at the intersection of AI because I have AI experience as well, built AI platforms before. So I went looking for it. And it's fate. The fate that market conditions for the job was extremely bad, especially for product management because of high interest rates, the layoffs. There was again for that particular job, the demand was extremely high and supply of jobs were extremely low. So it was I went around for 6, 7 months and I couldn't find a job. I will be very upfront with you. It's not because I'm not qualified, it's just because of market conditions. And also, I'm very bad at interviewing, and interviewing is a different skill set than doing the job. I learned that. And I started working on interview skills as well. But back of the mind, is always nagging me. This is not something what I want to do. And I kept on going, looking for a job. I was getting better at interviewing skills as well. But one day I realized, if not now, when? I know that I want to do a startup. I know that one of the many identities that I want to create, the identities that I want to create for myself are a creator, entrepreneur, and enabler for health. So these are the identities I want to create. And looking for a job isn't going to create that. And for that, I need to jump all in on the faith that I was born to do it. And I was open to that, and I let the fate find me and said, okay, this is the right time to do this. There is a saying, when is the right time to do something? Either it was 10 years ago or now. Then I realized, okay, it's now that I should do it. And obviously, I talked with my wife, and I have the best wife in the world. She's extremely supportive, and I talked to my few, circle of friends, and everybody has been very supportive. And also, timing to do a startup is perfect right now. Remember earlier I talked about the feasibility aspect of it. What could I can provide is unique? What is something that has changed in the market that gives the opportunity to create something valuable? I think that something is the the AI platform shift, the Gen AI platform. The Gen AI platform that I'm talking about is the you must remember the chat GPT moment. All of our minds were blown away at that. And then I realized, hey, the way the software is creating, the way people are creating, and remember I talked about the holistic platform, the content, the personalized care, and that is more feasible using a Gen AI platform tools. And they were like, okay, what I have been thinking for multiple years now feasible right now. And that's when I realized, okay, it's now is the time to go, because from the supply side to create that is feasible. Hence, I'm thinking about building an AI first company. Even today, everything that I do is AI first. From I'm creating this content, I use Gen AI tools for scripting. I use Gen AI tools to edit it. I use Gen AI tools to distribute. And I'm just one person is able to do many more things. That's number one. Second thing, even the product development I did, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit later, use generative AI tools to accelerate that. What that means is it can be done faster, better, and cheaper using generative AI tools. And that's when I realized, okay, it's feasible right now. So now let me talk about what I am building. Again, the name of my startup is called GutSphere. The reason why I named GutSphere is so for all chronic diseases, mostly it's your gut. It's your gut. So if you improve your gut microbiome or improve your gut health, you can improve your chronic disease, and especially for gas- gastrointestinal health. And sphere is an short form for biosphere, because I wanted to build an ecosystem that a patient needs to improve their gut health and gut microbiome and for GI care. Hence, I named the gut sphere. And that particular platform is feasible today because of the platform shift that's happening in the generative platform shift is happening. So creation, content creation, personalization, software creation at scale is feasible today thanks to the platform shift, AI platform shift. And in short, if you want an analogy, the what I want to give is think GutSphere as Amazon for GI care. Imagine having everything you need for GI care: the education, the, the clinical navigation, the personalized record tools, the recommendations for exercise, sleep, and everything, even the supplements, diets, and everything in just one platform, enabling you to personalize and you be in charge of that particular health. So that's the platform I'm talking about. And I know that this is huge. It's like boiling the ocean. I'm acutely aware of that. And it has to start small, and it got to start somewhere. And then I realized the mission. So my mission or our mission at GutSphere is to make GI care affordable, actionable, and accessible all around the world, because the rise of GI issues or rise of chronic disease, especially in GI conditions, is a global problem. GI, a patient with GI issues is almost similar regardless whether you are in Nepal, India, or United States or Brazil. The framework around what it causes is almost similar. So, and the problem is rising across the globe. Hence, I'm thinking about building a global healthcare, consumer healthcare company. And the vision is to build that platform and ecosystem for patients so that they can take charge of their own health. And it's like boiling the ocean. It's going to be a long journey, but I want to start small. And one thing which I started small was, again, drawing upon my GI healthcare journey experience. I had never thought about building a GI platform until this happened. And this is the reason why I was deeply disappointed. My colonoscopy experience, navigating the insurance, also preparing for the colonoscopy, and also the billing that I had to pay, although it was preventative, it was totally zero cost. That awful experience of going to colonoscopy experience, not the procedure, but also the surroundings around the procedure caused me anger. And first, I'm very fortunate to convert that anger into a creative channel and wrote a book. And then I kept on percolating up the idea, and now I'm ready to launch it. So what I realized was colonoscopy is something people have to do it. It has when one goes through that, it has high financial pain because it's costly procedure, and this also has high emotional pain because it has to go to preparation, long preparation, and the preparation is quite arduous. Then I realized, okay, why don't I start with something which people have to do when they are either when they are 45 years old or even younger if they have some symptoms like I went through when I was almost 34, 35, and it's very exceptional to go through colonoscopy process to 35 years as 35 years old. And because of that particular experience going through colonoscopy, which was very disappointing, the procedure was okay, but the insurances, dealing with the payments, dealing with the doctors, that was quite frustrating in the US healthcare system. And I realized, okay, I'm going to start with the colonoscopy. And what can I do in a colonoscopy? Obviously, I want to give charge to the patient. I mean, in this case, what I want to start with, and this is the first product that we're going to launch, is ridiculously simple, yet is going to be extremely powerful tool. Colonoscopy SMS reminders. Colonoscopy preparation SMS reminders. And I truly believe that it's going to save billions around the world and give peace of mind to millions. Because the colonoscopy prep procedure, at least for me, I didn't get any reminders, any preparation notes, and anything. And this entire preparation, even post recovery part, is very cumbersome. In fact, I lost about 10 pounds, and post colonoscopy, I lost around 15 pounds. I went from 145 to lowest at 128 pounds in 1.5 years post colonoscopy because I didn't know how to recover from colonoscopy. So, even the post colonoscopy is very confusing. Confusing. That's where I realized, okay, can I remove that confusion for the patient? And the simplest tool thing is start with colonoscopy preparation, SMS reminders, which is going to give the reminders the right thing to do at a timely manner, plus instructions. Instructions. If I could do that, not only the patients, but also the caregivers and over the clinicians will have peace of mind that people will show up adequately prepared. And to speak the clinical care parlance, I believe there are about 25% of the colonoscopy procedure needs to be rescheduled because or cancelled because patients come inadequately prepared, and it's costly for both patients and the providers as well. So why not help the patients prepare and get timely reminders to prepare things, because if they miss on one step they could get rescheduled and it's going to give both emotional and financial pain for not only for them but also for the clinicians and providers as well. So SMS reminders could be, and there are studies that have shown it's very effective to help patients patients prepare adequately for colonoscopy. And I'm also acutely aware that this is something that already exists, but it exists behind the paywalls of providers. Some providers provide these SMS reminder systems, but it's quite expensive for them to purchase it. Because as you know, because I've done startup before, so I know that for the B2B sales, it has very expensive. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to democratize that access. Today, with GutSphere colonoscopy preparation SMS reminders, anyone can simply sign up for that, be it patient or caregiver who can be a family member or friend can sign up for the patient if they are not able to do it on their own. And third is even clinicians can sign up for the patients. And the pricing model is extremely simple. It's pay as you go. And I'm experimenting on different pricing. On pricing, one thing what I want to say that is I want to align the value of the pricing with the patient care. Uh, so I'll have to experiment a bit on the pricing model, but the philosophy is that the incentives must align for both for GutSphere and also the patients. And as I'm a patient first, I want even the pricing to be the patient-centric, patient-first pricing incentives. So that's what I want to do. So, and to tie all of these things, I feel like I'm uniquely qualified to do this because of my patient journey, because of my startup background, because of my AI background, and the product background. So everything that I have done in my life is connected and connected dots to produce this platform. And because of my experience, I know that even though it's a very long journey and I am prepared to take a very long-term view on this, the very first step is launching something simple and yet powerful. And today is the launch of colonoscopy preparation SMS reminders. And I need your help. My customer acquisition channels are one, organic channels, which is creating social media content, which I'm creating videos, different how-to guides, and so on. So for that, if you know someone who is preparing for colonoscopy, please share this platform with them. Even if you are preparing for it, please use it. And in general, please be kind and supportive. Just subscribe to my channel. And also you can share about GutSphere in all your social media platforms, be it LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever that you use. That will help me immensely to promote this to everyone who needs. And one more thing which I forgot to mention about you is that in the SMS reminders you get, it will be in multiple languages. As I told, accessibility is a key. So English, Spanish, Chinese, Hindi, Nepalese, and many more languages where people can choose the language they prefer to get the reminders, so that even people who who don't understand English will be able to understand the instructions and the reminders. So that is key. That's the reason why our mission is to make it affordable, accessible, and actionable. And even the instructions are written in such a way that it's really easy to act. So that's our aligning to that our mission. Finally, as I mentioned earlier that I know that I cannot do this alone. I would need support from everyone. I'm building a team right now. So if you know any developers, designers, AI engineers, please, and if you are yourself and if you want to work on this mission, join me on mission, please reach out to me. That's one. Second is I know that I also need advisors. So advisors it'd be the start mentors, board members, clinical advisors. So if you are interested or if you know somebody who would be interested, I would love to get the introduction. And thirdly, which is the last thing, if you have any feedback, thoughts, or just to say hi and give me a supportive comments and or chat with me, please reach out to me. I always love to chat and get advice from you. Thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate it, and your support means world to me. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll share about GutSphere and join me in the journey of revolutionizing GI care for everyone around the world. Thank you so much. See you soon.